Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Callum Hudson-Odoi remontada as they return since their 2018-19 Sarri days. Both of them linking up, cooking on the pitch against Malmo, cooking on the pitch together against Newcastle, and they're going to be cooking on the pitch against Burnley this weekend. We're going to be talking about their displays, their fantastic performances against Malmo FF yesterday, which doesn't guarantee our qualification from the group, but it pretty much 90% guarantees a qualification. We only need 1 point from our last 2 games to guarantee qualification, and we do need to win both games if we want to top the group with a certain amount of goal difference, and we do need to beat Juventus by a certain amount. But I'll be speaking about that at a later date when it is a lot more important. But we're speaking about Ruben's performance. We'll be delving into Callum Hudson-Odoi stats, and we'll be delving into Eden Hazard transfer update. What's new with Eden Hazard? Could we be seeing a return in the upcoming winter window or next summer? Let's wait and see. But before I do get into all of it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into this news / talking point video. And of course, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Listen, I did say at the time when it was unfortunate. Lukaku, Werner, they both picked up injuries against Malmo in match day 3 at Stamford Bridge. Very unfortunate to see both of them go. But you see, Thomas Tuchel, he's a mastermind. He's an absolute genius. We'll be speaking about his tactical tweak. I'll be delving into that in a second. But you see, Lukaku and Werner, both of them have left, and I knew that Chelsea would become a lot more fluid in the front three, with Kai Havertz dropping in the false 9, dropping in those pockets, Christian Pulisic returning back as well. You've got likes of Mason Mount, Ziyech, Callum, etc. Chelsea would have been a lot more fluid. That was very predictable at the time when Lukaku and Werner got injured. Yes, it was very unfortunate, but it allowed Callum to cook. It meant a consistent run of games. I've been crying out on this channel consistently on a constant basis that for Callum to cook, for Callum to put these performances in where he's worthy of first team material, where he's worthy of fulfilling his potential at this club, for me he needed that consistent run of games. He was never going to get it with 10-20 minute cameos at right wing back once every couple of weeks. He's never going to develop in that way, and that's why I was fuming. That's why I was so angry when his move to Dortmund, his loan move to Dortmund, was blocked, because I'm thinking, yes, we do need squad depth within 5 competitions, but we have enough positions. He's not going to learn and grow playing in the right wing back position, which again isn't his natural and strong position. He's not going to dominate in the right wing back position. He's too technical. He has too much technical ability and positional play with techers and skill and technique to be wasted down in the right wing back position. He needs to be playing consistently week in, week out in his best position at left wing. He wasn't getting that service. He wasn't being utilised. He was surplus to requirements. I said, why is his move to Dortmund blocked? Why isn't it being allowed to go through? He was prevented from moving to Dortmund, and I said, this is ridiculous. And Thomas Tuchel was the architect behind that. He was the architect behind the blockage of the move. He kept Callum, and luckily now he's getting a consistent run of games. And I said, this period where Lukaku and Werner were injured, he has to utilise, and he has to utilise to great effect. He has to perform. He has to get his goal output significantly increased in terms of efficiency, whether that's assists or goals. By doing that, that forces Thomas Tuchel's hand when Werner and Lukaku do inevitably return back from injury. That means Callum is going to get a more consistent run of games, and hopefully now this will kickstart his career, and that will build some momentum for Callum as well. Now let's look at Callum's stats against Malmo. Some superb stats: 91% pass accuracy, 46 total touches, 7 ground duels contested, 6 ground duels won. Now for an out-and-out winger, that is world class, like phenomenal statistics. The fact that you've got 6 out of 7 ground duels won, that shows the determination and the actual effort when it comes to defending. And again, that really has to stem down from the coaching staff and Thomas Tuchel. They've actually drilled that in him, because not only as a winger you've got the attacking side, but you have to defend as a unit. So you have to do your defensive duties, and he's done that perfectly well. 5 attempted dribbles, 4 successful dribbles. And this is the other thing as well, because Chelsea lack a natural creator, although we don't lack a natural creator, but we have a lack of natural creators. We are starving and we are depleted in this category, this department. We don't have enough dribblers in the team. Our only world-class dribbler in our team is probably Mateo Kovacic. That's literally it. Christian Pulisic is one, but he's never fit, and the other one is Callum Hudson-Odoi. So it's really good to see him getting those consistent minutes. And it's not a surprise to me that every time Callum has played, we've kept clean sheets, but we've also won in dominant fashion as well. So 4 out of 5 attempted dribbles completed, 3 chances created, 2 attempted tackles, 2 successful tackles, and 1 assist. And what an assist, by the way. Can we just speak about the assist for a few seconds? Because what an assist. Put it on a sixpence for Ziyech. That ball was begging for someone to slot it into the far corner, which Ziyech did perfectly well. But that ball, The precision from Kai Havertz, the little flick around the corner from Callum, the burst of pace to run and beat his man, and then the pinpoint cross, absolutely sublime. Again, Callum, he's really perfecting his game now. The technique he has, the dribbling, the ability, the way that he operates in the half spaces, his movement, his one-touch, two-touch football. I've noticed as well his finishing is really improved. Now, do you guys cast your minds back to last season, previous seasons, even previous games on Tuchel, where every time he would score, the keeper would always get a hand to it. The keeper would always get a touch. It'd always be a poor finish. But now he's actually perfecting his finishes. If you look at the game against Malmo, if you look at the previous games where he's actually scored goals, you've seen, especially against Norwich, where they're clean finishes now. They're not directly at the keeper. They're really in the far corner. They're precise. He's definitely something that he's worked on in training, which I'm really proud about. Again, he's really developing his game. He's providing the breakthrough. He's exactly what we need. If Chelsea are going to mount a serious title challenge, Callum has to be the architect behind that. He will engineer our way to winning and competing a title, and so will Christian Pulisic. So I'm really happy for him that he's actually returned to injury. But him cooking against Malmo means that hopefully he'll be cooking at left wing against Burnley right before the international break. And now let's speak about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, what a performance. This guy, he's really knocking on the door now to actually get some minutes as a first team member. Of course, it's congested. It's really unfortunate for him because we have three world-class players in that position. Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante. It's really hard to break through. You know, the fact that we've got three world-class players competing for two positions is difficult enough. Then you got Ruben, Ross Barkley. Then you got Saul Niguez into the mix. And even Sal's improving his performances. I told all you lot to not sleep on Saul Niguez, and he'll get his time to shine. But Ruben, for me, is really knocking on the door now. And again, because we're in 5 competitions, all of these midfield players will get the specific minutes required. So I wouldn't stress for Ruben. But again, his remontada is fantastic. And to be honest, I never saw it coming. So big respect to Ruben. You know, it really comes down to mindset and mentality. He always believed that he was going to get his chance at Chelsea. He always believed that he was going to be a first team member at Chelsea, that he was going to break through. And the performances that he's putting in, his actual dribbling, his technique, the way that he bursts through his man with actual physicality, power and prowess, the technical ability that he possesses, the physicality that he possesses as well. And this guy was robbed of so many assists last night. Kai Havertz should have been bearing his chances. And even against Newcastle, a really good cameo. And hopefully this weekend he may potentially start. And it really helps Thomas Tuchel because we do have a lot of squad depth, but we do also play a lot of games. So we need a squad depth. And quality players like Ruben shine last night is perfect because it gives Thomas Tuchel a headache when it comes to selection. So fair play to Ruben. Fantastic performance last night. He just needs to keep up with the consistency. He needs to keep up with the performances. But again, he could have a massive season and he could be instrumental Chelsea potentially winning a Premier League title. Now, let's finally move on to Eden Hazard. Some transfer news for you lot. Now, Eden Hazard, could we finally be seeing a return from him? I know I've spoken about him briefly in the past. Ever since his move to Real Madrid, it hasn't worked out again. A lot of it is down to his injuries. But ever since Carlo Ancelotti has become Real Madrid manager, Eden Hazard has been surplus to requirements. He hasn't been getting game time. It's not that he's been injured. He's just been on the bench. He's just not been playing. He's not been utilised correctly. And Carlo was actually asked about this in the recent post-match press conference after Real Madrid's last game and against Osasuna. And then Carlo actually stated that he doesn't fit his system. He doesn't fit his style of play. There's other players he'd rather prefer, that he's focused on the development. And listen, he's gone £400,000 a week. He's a top player. You know, only 2 seasons ago, he was up there as top 2, top 3 best players on the planet. They paid £140 million for Eden Hazard with 1 year left. He hasn't been utilised properly. It's been a waste of money for them completely. And if Chelsea put an enticing offer in the upcoming January transfer window or next summer, for me, I think that it's a case of Real Madrid would have to accept. You know, whether if we offered £50 million, pushing even £60 million, I think Real Madrid would definitely accept. Would Eden Hazard accept? Maybe not last season, but I think he might be inclined to accept now because I think he's realising that his move has not been worked out. He's not in favour of Carlo Ancelotti. He's not getting the required minutes. He's been surplus to requirements. I think now he's realising, come back home, Eden. Come back to Stamford Bridge. I know there's that. There's always that sentiment because it's Eden Hazard. It's my favourite player. It's our most talented ever player. He's a legend of Chelsea. But for me, he would still improve us exponentially when it comes to creativity. I think Eden Hazard is that man for January. Well, what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.